Shout out to all my guys and goddesses checking out this video. I am C, the spiritual goddess, here for another Starlight Report. In today's video, we are doing the next 5 years. We are talking about Beyonce as promised, guys and goddesses. So if you want to see my predictions for Beyonce in the next 5 years, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. Sorry if you guys hear the fan in the background. You know it's hot in this studio, child. But yes, guys and goddesses, so we're going to get into all things about Cowboy Carter. We're going to talk about her music, her upcoming Act 3, some predictions on her. If you want to see the predictions I did about her and Jay-Z, check out my Patreon. I will link that. I did do one already about the pair, especially about Jay-Z, child. That was really something. So we'll go ahead and get into that. So let's get into this video. I hope you guys are okay. If you're a newbie, hit that subscribe. If you're an oldie but goodie, what up, down. All right, so first I want to get the overall energy. How does Beyonce feel about the success, or some people say lack of Cowboy Carter? You know, Cowboy Carter, just being real, and you guys know I love Beyonce, but it didn't have the same impact as Renaissance or any of her other albums. Now, it did break records as far as country music goes, but it didn't last as long as her other projects. So let's see, how does she feel about Cowboy Carter? And some people say it kind of seemed like she abandoned it a little bit. What do you guys think? How does Beyonce feel about how Cowboy Carter performed? How does she feel? How does she feel? Now, I told you the guys this in my other Beyonce video. I do feel like she feels disappointed. That's why she's been inconsistent. She does wish they would have planned it better. I'm not going to lie to you. And she could say that it doesn't matter. I think it does matter. I think that success does matter. And she's not necessarily happy with how things have played out when it comes to it. She was expecting to get a better reception. But what I do feel is, I do feel like she's trying to turn it around with her new project. So she's making a plan to turn it around with her new project. I told you guys this in my last reading. I wouldn't be surprised if Beyonce does kind of move up Act 3, or we may get some inklings about Act 3 earlier. But yeah, that's definitely what I'm getting here. Okay, will we get a tour surrounding Cowboy Carter? Will Cowboy Carter have a tour? There hasn't been anything announced. But will Beyonce have a tour with Cowboy Carter? Let's see. Will she tour with Cowboy Carter? Would she tour with Cowboy Carter? Will she be going on tour with this album in particular? She's thinking about it, but I don't think she's going to go on tour. But I wouldn't be surprised if she announced some type of residency or performance. Let's see. Will she do some type of performance? Like some shows, amount of shows. So I'm picking up, maybe not a full-fledged tour, but what I am picking up is like maybe some shows. So she might do a couple shows. You guys know how she did, I believe it was 4. That was a good album. The album 4, I believe, where she had like the Atlantic City set. I can see her doing that for Cowboy Carter. So that's definitely the energy I'm getting for that. Okay, so then we're going to close out the questions for Cowboy Carter. Let's get into the next 5 years for Beyonce. Let's get into some predictions. So Act 3. Will Act 3 be received better than Cowboy Carter? Let's ask Spirit. The Act 3. Let me know some of your favorite songs for Act 2. Act 2 really wasn't for me. I love almost every Beyonce album. This is the first album I was like, no. But there is a couple songs off of there that I like. What's some of you guys' favorite songs? I do like Bodyguard. Okay, let's see. Act 3, Act 3, Act 3 for Beyonce. Will it perform better? Show me Act 3. Now, Beyonce, I will say you probably do want to move up Act 3 before this stuff come out with Jay-Z. Because, baby, if you was in my Patreon, you know what I predicted next 5 years. So I will go ahead and just move it up if you wanted to. Let's see. Act 3, Act 3. What will be the public perception of Act 3? What will be the public perception of Act 3? Public perception of Act 3. How will they feel about Act 3? Okay, so I'm getting a sense that people may not give it the praise that she may be looking for. And Beyonce, I do feel like the scandal that I predicted in Patreon, I feel like the things surrounding that. Can I just say, when I'm picking up what's happening with Beyonce, I feel like before, Beyonce was one of those celebrities, a couple celebrities who people feel like is untouchable. You can't say anything bad about, like in our community, the black community. I feel like that's starting to wear, and I told you guys, it's something I said in Patreon. I'll say here, you're gonna start seeing the tides turn. And yes, Beyonce is gonna start with the people in the industry first. People are gonna start saying something. You're gonna start seeing the media start posting to certain things. You know what I mean? When you see Beyonce show more of herself on her social media, that's when you know, okay, the tides are turning. So I do feel like Beyonce, if she really cares, because I do feel like she cares about image, it would be good to start opening up to your fans. But really more so, I'm picking up like this may be something that they can't escape. But let's see, how will the public feel about Cowboy Carter, Act 3? How would they feel about Act 3? How would the public perceive Act 3? She's going to get deep with Act 3, I can tell you that. How would the public feel about Act 3? Act 3. How would they feel about Act 3? Act 3. Yeah, they're not going to... It's going to get a lot more mixed reviews. But what Spirit is saying is one of those things where she kind of got to get patient with the public. Like, I feel like eventually some songs will catch on, but there may be a lot of people who don't really care for it, even less than Cowboy Carter. Okay, so let's go ahead. Like I said, I do feel like the scandal and everything surrounding that. Let's go ahead. Let's talk about Beyonce in the next 5 years. Spirit, show me, where will her career be in the next 5 years? What's coming up for her in her career in the next 5 years? Let's talk about her public persona. How will she be received by the public in the next 5 years? Next 5 years. Next 5 years, public. How would they perceive her? How would they perceive her? How would the public perceive her? Of course, she's still going to have that top spot in the music industry. So I definitely am seeing that. She still will be a titan. She's going to get a lot more awards, so that's very good for her. I've seen her being highly awarded. Next 5 years, next 5 years. But there is going to be things that comes out about her. In particular, I wouldn't be surprised if people say that this is Jay-Z coming up. Her husband is going to take a beating. I definitely see that. I see something, people saying that he's deceptive or deceptive business practices. And I do feel like this is going to fall onto Beyonce. I have to be real with you. See how the public perceives Beyonce. Yeah, he's coming up. And I see she's going to try to separate herself. She's going to try to separate herself. Doesn't mean they're going to get a divorce. If you want to know if they're going to get a divorce, watch my Patreon video. But what I will say is this. She's going to try to, like, separate her brand from Jay-Z. Not saying she doesn't have her own brand, but he's a heavy, like, influence. So I wouldn't be surprised. Let's see. How would the public perceive Beyonce? How would the public perceive Beyonce? How would they perceive her? And then the next 5 years. The next 5 years, how would the public perceive her? Yeah. I feel like she may want to take a break. Beyonce may go into break after this project because of everything. Yeah. And I feel like people are going to... I keep looking at her family. Looking at her family life. And if I have to be honest, the balloon is going to be pop. on them. I feel like there's going to be a lot of stuff that comes out about her family. I'm not just getting with Jay-Z and her. I'm also getting other members of her family. Things may come out about them, and it may alter the appearance of Beyonce. So she really wants to be careful with that. I wouldn't be surprised if they're kind of already preparing for that. I see them moving overseas, definitely, but I don't think they'll be able to escape everything that comes along or goes along with it. Okay, let's see. Musically, how would Beyonce... Will this affect her music? Will this public perception affect her music? Her stance in music. Let's see. So it will affect her musically. I feel like people will take her music with a side eye. Doesn't mean she won't be as successful, but she's gonna have to do a little bit more work is what I'm getting here. Okay. All right. Let's see. So I do feel like the tides are going to change as far. She still will be a top act. Don't get it wrong. She's still going to be a top act, top performer. But I feel like her public perception, the tides are going to change. What makes sense. Not trying to keep plugging my Patreon, but it makes sense with that video because Jay-Z, I'll say this, he got some things coming down the line about him, and it's not going to be pretty. So I definitely am getting that. Will Beyonce win Album of the Year Grammy within the next 5 years? Let's see. Will she win the Album of the Year? That's the only one she hasn't gotten. Let's see. In the next 5 years. Okay, so I feel like, and I told you guys this, I feel like she's not going to win it now. And it's really because, like, the Grammy board does have some unfair rules. And especially, I do feel like there is something with her husband. So I want her to win. I do want her to win, but I hope I'm wrong about this. But I'm getting like, it may be a while before she wins Album of the Year. Which is not fair in my opinion for Beyonce. She should have been had. Okay. Okay, hey, let's get some upcoming collabs. Who's some upcoming collabs for Beyonce? I'm going to pull some signs. Tell me who you guys think this is. Upcoming collabs for Beyonce. Upcoming collabs for Beyonce. Beyonce upcoming collabs. And tell me which act do you like so far. Do you like Act 1 or Act 2? Put a 1 in the chat if you like Act 1 better. Put a 2 in the chat if you like Act 2 better. Put a 0 if you don't like any of those. I'm curious to hear which ones you guys like better. Who are some upcoming collabs? And tell me who you think these people are for collabs. Okay, we got a Capricorn coming up. Upcoming collabs for Beyonce. The Scorpio coming up. What do you guys think this is? Upcoming collabs for Beyonce. Beyonce upcoming collabs. A Cancer. Yeah. And a Leo. Tell me who you guys think that is. Tell me who you guys think that is. Alright, let's get some final predictions for Beyonce next 5 years. Final predictions for Beyonce next 5 years. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video so far. Next 5 years, Beyonce. So there's going to be someone who exposes beef that she has in the industry. There's going to be someone who exposes the feuds that she has. So I do feel like that she's going to be feuding. She may not outright, because Beyonce's not outright going to say it, but we may hear some things behind the scenes. Let's see. Next 5 years. There's going to be a lot of rumors about feuds. Also, there's going to be something about her home or her house or place of residence. Some reports of that's not going to be good about her house or where she stays at. The good thing is she's going to expand. She's going to expand her brand. So I see her getting some more things. We're going to see a Beyonce a lot more in mainstream media more. And when I told you guys, when you start to see that, child, you know the people behind the scenes is trying to, because it's gonna be a cover up. They're gonna be trying to change the topic, or they don't want you guys to pay attention to something else going on. But there is going to be something about their money and how they, this is going back to Jay-Z, how they do their deals. It's going to be called up to the forefront. So I wouldn't be surprised if that, gods and goddesses, they may even move to try to avoid something with taxes, I'm getting. So that's what I have for Beyonce. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you have some more questions, leave them in the comments. Who else would you like to do? Who else would you like me to do the next 5 years on? I'll probably make a playlist and I'll probably pop up right here. If you want to check out my other 5-year playlist for different celebrities, check that out. And yeah, don't forget to sign up for my email list for weekly emails, weekly channel messages to your inbox. Until then, oh my gods and goddesses, see you in the next video. Peace.
Yeah.